So in this demo, I'm going to be working on assignment 4.5, 3D Pawn. And so this is going to be 2 pages. It will be a 3D pawn from a chessboard, and then the other page just has the dimensions. And the following pages after are just instructional documents, but I'm going to be going through that here. So I have this line work that I need to make for the pawn. And so I'm going to draw these. I'm going to be in 2D drafting for now while I draw it to these parameters. Okay, so I'll go ahead and start with right here, the 26. Oh, actually, sorry, before I get into that, I'm going to change my units to millimeters. Here we go. And so 26 inches, that would be huge. And so this needs to be drawn in millimeters. So now I'll go ahead and create a line and do 26 units. And then it's going to go down 45 degrees. So I'm going to turn on, okay, that one's already on. And actually, I don't know exactly the length of this line, but I do know it is 2 units. So actually, I will do a polyline as a construction line. So it's 2 units down, and then I'm not sure where it ends. So it ends somewhere over there. And then I'll take this 45 degrees until I intersect with that line, and then I'm going to go down 3 more units. I really only need to create one side, so I'll end it there and delete this. But I do need a series of construction lines, so I will keep that in mind as well. So between here and the next level, in a way, is 8.97. Make sure it's straight. There we go. And then I have a line that is 20 units. So half of that would be 10. And I'm going to create an arc, start, end, and radius. Start, end, and then the radius is going to be 6. And I'm going to mirror that because I should have selected the other way around. Yes, I will erase that. Okay, great. And then now this is going to go up. So it will go up from here, 1 unit. One unit. And then I have an arc. Let's see, how do I want to do this? So I know that this is 3 units to the next one. So I could do to the next level in a way. So I could do 3 units, go over 8 because it's 16 and half of that will be 8. And then so I'm in line actually. Let me just show you with polyline. So I'm going to go up 3 once again because 2 plus 1. I'm going to go over 8. And then now, because I'm in polyline, specify next point or, and it gives some options. I can choose arc. And then I'll escape. So just very easily made an arc right there. Okay, and so to the next level, it's going to be 24.06. And then 5. And I have another arc right here. So I could do arc. And it's going the wrong way. If I hold down here, I'll go ahead and escape that so that way it can create an arc that goes the correct direction. And let's see, do I have the radius? I do not. Okay, and so the radius here has a radius of 50. So let me go ahead and include that. So I have start and radius arc, and then 5, 0. There we go. And go back into polyline. And let's see, 3.26. 3.26 units up and 6 units over. And then I can choose arc. And let me give that arc a radius of 2. And I'll put it right here and then I'm going to flip it. So I'll explode and then mirror it. There we go. And then from here to the top is 15.71. And I have a circle with a diameter of 18. So let's see here. So a circle with a diameter of 18. And I'm going to double check that my overall length is 60. Okay. And I will move this over here. And trim the excess. Okay, looks pretty good. So I'll trim away this, this, and this, and then I'm going to take this whole thing and I will mirror it about the center. So no, I don't want to erase it. Actually, let me undo that really quick. I'm going to copy this over. Let me join it first. Then I'm going to copy this over for the second part. And now I will mirror it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm just going to move this over and I will dimension it. So let me go to my dimension layer and I will start to dimension this here. So from here to the top and let me also change the color of this once again. And I'm going to look at my viewport to see what the scale should be. So that's 1 to 10. So 1 to 10 actually looks like it can work pretty well. Just got to get all my dimensions in there nicely. Okay, so I'll do 1 to 10 and I'm going to modify this so that I'll change the scale and I will change the precision. And the scale will be 10. Okay. You see if this two fits in here nicely. It does fit. It's a little cramped. I'll see what it looks like when I preview my viewport. I'm just going to continue to dimension this. And I don't want my one to cross with the other one because that it'll just look a little bit confusing. I do want to align these though. There we go. And they have the width for this. Maybe I'll bring that down and bring this one up. And here we go. And I'll add some radiuses. I'll go ahead and add them on the side as to not overcrowd it too much on that side. And the angle here, 45 degrees. Okay, and then here we go. And I'm going to change the precision of some of these. So I'm going to open this one up. I'll increase that to 2 decimal places for those. And then I have another one here that I forgot. Here we go. 2 decimal places. And let me just see how that's fitting in here so far. It's a little crowded. All right, let me try to create a bit of space. I'm just going to create a line here to make it easier to align my dimensions. Okay. And this is fully defined now. I don't need to add any more information. I could add the height to the top of the circle for a little bit of redundancy. And I probably will actually. Because we have all the heights listed here, so I'm going to add this last one. I just need to change the precision for that. Okay, yeah, so that way I have the height of all of my different lines and levels in here, and then I have the overall as well. So that looks pretty good. Let me look in here. Oops. Double click out of the viewport. And then now I'm going to double click back into it. And it is a bit difficult to fit with the dimensions. So I can actually create a custom scale. I could do the 16, but I'll just add a new one. So I'll name it 1 to 15. And I'll say OK. That looks good there. Actually, I'm going to try looking at one more scale. Maybe I'll add a 1 to 14. Even a 1 to 12 would probably work. Okay, and that looks nice and legible. Okay, looks good. And now I'm going to make this pawn into 3D. So I already had copied over half of my pawn over into this drawing area, and I joined it so that way all the lines that can join up will. And now I want to make this into 3D. So I'm going to change my settings to 3D drafting. So I'm going to look over here at this little, it's like a gear, and it says workspace switching. And I'm going to go here to 3D modeling. So right now I'm in drafting and annotation, and I'm going to switch to 3D modeling. All right, and then a little window popped up, and I'm just going to close that. And okay, so now that I'm here, I'm going to grab this line work, and I'm going to go up here to the modeling panel, and I'm going to choose revolve. And I'm going to choose the top and the bottom to revolve around. And actually, let me escape really quick because I'm in the dimension layer. So whatever I layer I'm in, once I create it into a 3D shape, it's going to be on that layer. So I'm going to put it back to the geometry. I'll choose that again. And you can put a construction line down the middle as well. And so this is now revolving this line work, and I'm going to choose 360 for the angle of revolution. So now it made a full revolution. And it's a little bit difficult to see, so I'm going to change this to realistic. And then I'm going to hold down Control and, or Shift actually. Sorry, Shift works better. Here, let me fix my view really quick. There we go. Hold down Shift, and then now I've made this into 3D. So here's my flat line work, and here is my 3D pawn. So I'm going to take this pawn and I'm going to rotate it. So I just highlighted the entire thing. And then here in the modify panel, there's one called 3D rotate. I'm going to select that, and I'm just going to select on the red hoop. I'm going to turn on ortho mode so that way it rotates evenly. And I'm just going to point it up. And there's still this line here. I can delete this. Sometimes it's difficult to delete, so if you can't, don't worry about it too much. But I think I got all mine deleted. All right, and so now I have my 3D pawn, and I can still see my 2D flat drawing over there. And I'll go ahead and switch back to drafting and annotation. And when I do that, I get all my regular, I'm gonna close this one, all my regular panels back up. But now I still have this 3D object right here, and I could go back to the top view. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure I save this. And so I have the, and this is a little bit in my viewport, so I'm going to move it over. So I can just use the move command like I normally would, and I'll move it over there. And I'm going to delete this screenshot. Okay, and so now I'm going to copy my layout. Actually, I'm not going to say move to end. I'm just going to copy it, and now I'm over here and I'm going to delete this viewport. And I'm going to go to my layout tabs, and I want to insert a new viewport. I'm going to choose this little arrow down here though, and that's going to bring up a new window. And I can choose single here, and it says change view to current. I'm going to change this to 3D. And now I'm going to choose SE isometric. And the visual style is already realistic, so that's good. And now I need to specify 2 corners for my viewport. There we go. And then now I can change my viewport like I normally would. So I can zoom in right here. I'm going to change the layer to the viewport layer. And I'm going to find a nice round number 2. Scale it to. All right, and so 1 to 10 works. And my pawn is black, but if I wanted it to be a different color, so let me preview this really quick. Okay, see it's black. If I want it to be a different color, I can actually change the color of my geometry layer or whatever layer it's on. And then that will make, for example, a blue pawn. And let me see if it's going to show up blue, and it will. So feel free to change it to whatever color you feel like. Um, let's see. Kind of like this. And it turns out like nice and shiny, and that looks a little bit like it's gold. Or it can do like this purple color, maybe a deeper purple. That looks pretty cool. And looks like this was drawn on the geometry layer instead of the zero layer, and so that's why that's also changing. Okay, that looks good to me. And you want to, so I'm going to preview this one more time. All right. So I will go ahead and fill this out. I'm going to put 3D pawn, my name, 1 of 1. I'll say okay. And then I'm going to fill out the title block information over here. Okay, and then now I'm going to batch plot this. All right, and I'm doing the demo one, so I'm going to that away. Take these away, and I'm going to choose the appropriate folder and publish it. All right, I'll just replace the other one. There we go. And so now that's printing in the background. All right, and I'm going to open up my file. Okay, and so there I have it. I have my 3D pawn. It's a pretty purple color, and then I have the next sheet with the dimensions of that pawn. And actually, I'm realizing now that I need to change this sheet number. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll reprint it. All right. Have fun with this one, guys.